All right, welcome back, everybody, to Dubai, and we've got a pretty big day today. Coco Gauff's playing against Kalinskaya. We've already had some matches complete, and yeah, we've got some big matches coming up over the next few hours, both here and in Doha. We've got Alcaraz coming up later, and yeah. Should be interesting. We've already also had some withdrawals, which is a little bit annoying because it seems like we've had a lot of withdrawals, to be honest, over the last few days. But yeah, it's turning into the injury open a little bit. Yeah. We are back. With these withdrawals and walkovers, Jovic can win the tournament. I think Jovic can win the tournament without the withdrawals, but okay. Yeah, it sucks because Dasha withdrew. Krejcikova yesterday withdrew. Balic withdrew, so Bencic got through without having to play. Second round, a lot of lucky losers are playing, which shows how many players pulled out when after the draw came out. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough event. Not to mention, it started off with when Sabalenka and Swiatek pulled out, the tournament director was like, "What the hell?" And then after that, it's gotten worse. So yeah, Dubai. I tell you, Dubai is really getting the shit end of the stick because but that's what happens with back-to-back 1000s. I mean, this stuff probably wasn't as common as when it was 1 week 1000 and then a 1 week 1000 Dubai Doha sharing the license. Now it's like, well, people are going to play Doha or they're not going to play at all. Now Pegula is playing. She didn't play last week, but even watching her, she has like a knee issue. So I'm like, okay, well, something's going on with that. Yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal. And Dubai want to upgrade all their facilities, but if they're not the premier event out of the Middle Eastern swing, then upgrading it's not gonna attract more players. I think it's got to be. Yeah, you got to either make Doha a 500 leading into Dubai as the 1000, or you've got to put Dubai first and then Doha second. That's the only way Dubai is going to have priority over Doha, I think. Back-to-back 1000 is too much. I agree. Yeah, especially in February. I mean, it's been like a week after the Australian Open, we had a 1000. I mean, that's doesn't seem right. Yeah. And then trying to go back-to-back 1000s. Then we get a week off, and then we go back-to-back 1000s again, but they're 2 weeks. Yeah, we gotta figure that out. If Eala beats Palini, she has a chance of winning the titles or even the semis. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting draw. I mean, Coco is there, so that's not going to be easy. Also, Noskova and Kostya are both very tough, but yeah, it'll be interesting. But Jovic and Pegula is a third round match tomorrow. That's fun. Towson versus Lynette. Chen versus Anisimova is also a fun one tomorrow that we'll watch. But yeah, there are some interesting third round matches coming up. Winner of this will take on Mertens. Should move one of the 1000s to Australia. Basically 4 1000s in a row. Yeah, it's brutal. It's like, I don't know, I mean, the schedule is literally this. Week 1, week 2, 500s, right? Week 3, 4, Grand Slam. Week 5, 500. Week 6 and 7, 1000s, back to back. Week 8, I guess a week off. Week 9, Indian Wells. 10, Indian Wells. 11 and 12 in Miami. Then you got a week off, and then you go to Stuttgart, and then it's Madrid, Rome, 2 weeks each, then a week off, then Roland Garros. It's just like, I think we got to have 2 weeks between events. We can't have one week between events. Is crazy. Like, especially when you go 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 4 weeks on. Like, it's so what? And I know, like, if you lose in Indian Wells, you can have a week off after that. But if you do well at Indian Wells, then you're screwed for Miami. You know. Yeah, I think it's just too much. Yeah, and then you got Doha paying millions of dollars for Alcaraz and Sinner. Like, I mean, and then you add that to the mix, and you're like, hang on, why? What's going on with that? Like, hang on, so Dubai want to be like want to put all the money back into making the facility bigger and better for the fans and whatever, and then Doha just want to pay for the biggest names. It's like, that's interesting how the funding is going. And then you got Saudi Arabia coming in as a new 1,000 event in a couple of years, which is that's gonna throw things into a massive, crazy thing. I don't even know what's gonna happen when that comes in. It's gonna throw off a lot of things. But yeah, it's hectic. February used to always be like the month of chill, but it's getting a bit crazy now. There's going to be too many 1,000s. All the players are going to be in hospital. I mean, yeah. You got to have one. I reckon you got to have one. You can't have Doha and Dubai as a 1,000. You can't have them both as a 1,000. It's one or the other. Back to back is too much. And look, Dubai are probably the ones that are trying to like I said, Doha are paying for Alcaraz and Sinner millions of dollars, more than the prize money for the winner. They're getting more than the prize money, and then you've got Dubai who are reinvesting it into their building a bigger stand and building more fan interactions and stuff like that, or fan activations. So you think, well, okay, Dubai is trying to become, like, it's trying to better itself as a 1,000, right? It's trying to improve its facilities. It's trying to improve its event, right? Whereas Doha are like, you know what? We're gonna just spend all the money that we could put into our facility, but we're gonna spend it on to get players in. It's like, okay, well, it feels like Dubai are trying to get better, whereas Doha might just not be. I don't know. Maybe they are reinvesting into their infrastructure and stuff, but it just feels maybe that Dubai are the ones. You know, kind of like what Cincinnati did, how they upgraded their facilities, and all the 1,000s are trying to like get better and better and better. But Doha spending $2 million to get 2 players to play their event. I mean, that doesn't sound like, yeah, okay, Sinner and Alcaraz are huge right now, but also like is that a smart way of building the tournament? I mean, maybe, but what if they don't play next year? Then you're like, okay, cool. We just threw $2 million at 2 guys who didn't come back. Whereas Dubai, at least they're reinvesting in themselves, right? Anyways, we'll see what happens. But I think we're starting to see with all these withdrawals and all these walkovers that Dubai is getting the real bad end of things. And they're the ones seemingly trying to improve their event, but it's hard to improve their event if no one's showing up as well, right? Because if nobody shows up, then the tickets don't sell, and then people don't care, and then they're just throwing money at when people aren't coming in. Seidel retires as well. God damn! See, everyone's struggling, man. It's crazy. And look, it's because Indian Wells is coming up, right? It's like before a Grand Slam when before the Australian Open, right? Players withdraw, and it's usually precautionary. I feel like a lot of players are pulling out of this event because Indian Wells is more important, even though it's the same. It's like Indian Wells and Miami are bigger events, right? Are worth more prize. I think bigger prize money too, right? Well, they're definitely over the million prize. Yeah, especially for the ladies. It's like, double the, almost, I think it's double the prize money. I mean, even Merida in Mexico has more prize money than, how does that work? So Doha was oh no, sorry, I can't read. It's fine. It's okay, I can read. I can't read right now, but I could read. So last year's prize was 1.1 for the ladies. And this tournament's prize is 600K, so about half. But also it's only 1 week, so half, you do 1 week, a half. Doha was 600 as well. But Indian Wells, yeah, bigger prize money, bet more, like, same amount of points, but just more, like, if you win a match, you get double what you would here, right? So if you financially, it's a no-brainer to go there instead. And be ready for Indian Wells. Like Indian Wells and Miami, are more important for financial reasons. Also, for the people that I know a lot of people are asking, like, why did Alcaraz and Sinner get $1 million to play? I think that, and I'm not 100% sure on the rules, but I think that because Grand Slams and Masters 1000s are mandatory, there's no appearance fee needed because the players have to play. But 500 events, because they're competing with other events, like this week, there's 3 men's events on. Because there's a competition between, either going to Rio or going to Delray Beach or going to Doha, I think appearance fees can be given out if it's 500 or 250 because they are trying to, like, compete for the players, right? Again, I don't know exactly what the rule is, but I think that's the reason why they're allowed to entice the players to come with appearance fees, because they're in competition with other tournaments. 1,000 events are on their own. They don't have a competition. It's like them or nothing, right? You can't play anything else except for maybe a challenger event in the second half for 1,000, but it's because slams are on their own, and so are 1,000 events are on their own on the schedule. So there's no, like, it's like, and you have to play them. They're part of your ranking, right? They're part of they're mandatory. So I think that's why, because I know there's a little confusion around why were they getting paid so much. It's like because Doha was like, well, we want you to play in our tournament. We don't want you to go to Rio, right? Anyways, Gauff comes to the net with a volley and wins the point. Nice start. I'm going to go Coco in 3. That's what I'm going to go with. Have they played before? I'm sure they've played before. Yeah, they played Dubai 2 years ago. And it was a quarterfinal. Kalinskaya got the win. And then they also played a doubles match back in the day. All right. 15 love. That's why, for example, Alcaraz went to Rio and Zverev went to Rio to get paid. Yeah, it wasn't there that thing that Alcaraz had signed like a 3-year contract with Rio back before he became like King Alcaraz, and then the last couple of years he's been able to go. I think that was the thing, right? A couple of years ago, because 2 years ago we're like, why is he playing Rio? Why is he not playing Rotterdam? Why is he not playing Dubai or Doha? And it was speculated that he was playing. He wasn't playing that because he had to play Rio. He signed up for Rio. Are you right? You okay? 15-0. And then the contract expired and he went straight to Rotterdam. All right, forehand goes down the middle to the backhand of Kalinskaya, but Kalinskaya hits it long and it's 30-15. I'm going to the final in Phoenix after Indian Wells. Oh, nice. Nice one. Eala should have appearance fees. She pretty much sold plenty of tickets as incentives. Yeah, but for a 1,000, she has to play, so there's no appearance fee. No fee needed. Anyways, 4-1 in there by Gauff, 30-0. Hawaii should have a 250. Interesting. All right, serve is a fault. Second serve. As Gauff serves again. Into the backhand of Kalinskaya. Fought it from Gauff to the backhand of Kalinskaya. Crossed into the backhand of Gauff. Kalinskaya, forehand winner, and it's 30-40 break point. By the way, Chad, I don't know if you had this problem, but when I was watching the Pegula match, I couldn't see the ball. And when I was watching the Jovic match, it was also very difficult to see the ball. It's a bit better now. I can see the ball better now, but during the first two matches, I was like, the ball was just blending in with the court, and it was so bright and glary, I couldn't tell. Like, even now, it's still pretty... It's a little bit... Like, I guess the sun's gone down a little bit, but it was really... I found it really hard to see on center court the first two matches. I was like, it's too bright. we gotta turn down the cameras a bit. Fix those camera settings. All right, 30-40. Double fault Gauff. There's the break. So it wasn't just me? All right. During the day, it's impossible to see the ball. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed. I felt that. All right. Break to start this match. Gauff has lost her last 4 matches in Dubai/Doha. So she hasn't won a match here for a couple of years. That's brutal. Yeah, I think Coco next year is just going to ditch this season, this part of the season. But I don't think there's any point in playing. I mean, other Americans do it, right? I mean, most Americans go home after this. After Australia, sorry. I don't think there's any point. If she's going to come here and lose, it doesn't really help her at all. You might as well go home, play in Austin or something, you know, or play in Merida, right? I mean, go play those events. I know they're 1,000, so like, why would you leave? Why wouldn't you play them? But she did make the quarterfinals here 2 years ago and lost to Kalinskaya, and she's done okay in Dubai, much better than in Doha. I think in Doha she should just ditch Doha next year and play Dubai. Also, actually, you know what? It might even be better if she ditches Doha, plays Dubai, and everyone comes into Dubai injured. Like, that's perfect. Well, that's what a great idea for Coco. Come into Dubai when everybody's withdrawing, and you can, you know, walk in and win the whole thing. Play against everyone who's really sore. Might be better for Coco. By the way, I'm looking at the 2023 competition. She made the semis, lost to Swiatek. She did beat Keys. Raducanu was a walkover. And there was actually a lot of walkovers in that tournament too. Pliskova Swiatek got a walkover from Pliskova. Zhang didn't play against Samsonova. Mukova didn't play against Pegula. Raducanu pulled out against Gauff. So yeah, there was a few walkovers that week as well. It's 30-15. So yeah, Dubai. I think Dubai just has on the women's side is just a real tough. It's just real tough, man, to play back to back. I feel like, to make it fair, they should do what they did what they used to do, right? But except keep them both 1,000 and just alternate. I know that would stuff up the schedule for the men as well, but they could just alternate those two. They're going to have to change that schedule for the men anyway because of Saudi, but I don't know. Maybe, make Dubai first and Doha second next year. Go Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Just to change it up. Anyways, that goes out by Gauff. It's 2-love. At least then that would maybe entice players to play Dubai first, and then Doha wouldn't get as, it'll make it fair, maybe. All right, 2-love Kalinskaya. Impossible to play back-to-back 1,000s after a slam. I agree. All right. As Gauff serves an ace. Whoops. 15-love. Doha needs to be downgraded. I'll tell you though, like as Goff says, another race 30 love. If Doha was to get downgraded, I don't think that'd be the worst thing, because if you downgrade Doha to a 500 and make the 1,000 Dubai, they could just use the money that they gave Alcaraz and Sinner. They could just entice players with that, couldn't they? Like they've done it. They've got a pretty good. I mean, they had a great lineup because Djokovic. Imagine if Djokovic played, then we would have been going, wait. So how much did Nole get paid to play? He pulled out, so they've obviously got a shit ton of money to be throwing at players to come play. So Alcaraz and Sinner got paid. Djokovic withdrew. They would have put another $1 million up for him. So they've obviously got a lot of money to spend. So why wouldn't they be a 500 for the ladies instead of a 1,000, and then they can just appearance fee players to come play anyway? Like why don't they do that? And then Dubai get to be the 1,000, and none of the players have to play back to back. Yeah, Doha used to be a 500, but then it used to alternate the 1,000 status with Dubai. So every other year it would change. So Dubai would be a 1,000, then Doha would be a 1,000, then Dubai would be a 1,000, and they alternate. And that was a little confusing as a fan, but I think if you just gave Dubai the 1,000 and made Doha a 500, that way the WTA could also put other tournaments around there. Because when it's a 1,000, it can't have anything else competing with it. You downgrade Doha to a 500. You go Abu Dhabi, Doha, Dubai, and then you could put in a couple of tournaments with Doha at 500 tournament, so you wouldn't have to you can spread out a bit. Maybe you put I know Singapore used to be around this time. They put that at the end of the year now, but you could put Singapore back in there. Maybe the Philippines could get that upgrade to make a 250. That could be the thing that happens. Maybe they go with, Doha 500, 250 Philippines. Like that could be a thing, right? I don't know. Just feels like, I just think we're seeing this year that back-to-back 1,000s in this time of year, straight after a Grand Slam, is really brutal. And players are choosing not to play, which is not good for anybody. It's not good for us. It's not good for the tournaments. And it's obviously too much for the players to keep doing it, They should put Masters in South America content because Middle East folks have no interest in tennis compared to South Americans. Yeah, but unfortunately those South American tournaments don't have the money. That's the difference. Difference is that the Middle East have money to spend, and the South American tournaments don't. Is not as lucrative. Even though, yes, I agree. Like in terms of a fan experience and in terms of atmosphere, South America is one of the best atmospheres out of any country, right? Not just in the Middle East, but any country. But the Middle East are happy to spend the money. Even if there's not as many people there. They're still going to be, they're happy to, they've got deep pockets. They got deeper pockets in the South American countries. On tennis anyway, right? So, that's just the way it is. Love 30. All right. Gauff wants to serve this break back. By the way, Ružić is playing at the moment as well. Love 40 to Gauff, by the way. So she's actually up a break after beating Raducanu yesterday. She's winning her match against Zakharova. Love 40. As the return goes in from Gauff to the backhand of Kalinskaya. Gauff with a forehand slice. Kalinskaya down the line with a forehand to the slice backhand of Gauff. Kalinskaya comes in and puts it away, 15-40. $15.40. By the way, happy Chinese New Year, everybody. Happy Lunar New Year, sorry. Lunar New Year? That's what it's called? The Year of the Horse? Happy Lunar New Year. Ah, 2-0, Gauff breaks. Chennai has a 250. Yeah, they do. All right. Lunar and Chinese New Year are basically the same. Okay. Happy Lunar New Year. All right, 15 love. Gauff back on serve. As Gauff serves again. Return goes into the forehand of Gauff. Kalinskaya, forehand goes long, and it's 30 love. 30 love. Poor Mia, you are stinky. You are stinky today. You are so stinky, Mia. Why? Whew. All right, 30 love. Sort of forehand down the line to the backhand of Kalinskaya. Kalinskaya hits it out. 40 love. Give Raducanu lucky loser to replace the walkover. That's not how it works. 40 love. As Gauff holds, 3 love. 3-2. All right. 3-2. Coco back in the lead. Now we have other matches going on right now. Some matches are already completed. So Towson, Pegula, Jovic, Bencic, and Andreeva have all gone through. Alexandra Eala lost to Lynette in 3, and Mertens beat Navarro. So a couple of upsets or a couple of seeds fell down. The fans of Raducanu becoming desperate. What? I don't think I was a fan of Raducanu. I think that was just someone just making a joke. Also, I'm noticing more and more that people that like talk about Raducanu the most are usually not her fans. And same with other players. The people that talk about players the most are usually the ones that are not really fans. They just talk about like the ones who criticize Raducanu the most are not really angry fans. They're usually bored people. Unfortunately. Yeah, same with the Eala, exactly. But they don't understand how the YouTube algorithm works. The more you talk about somebody, the more YouTube thinks you like them. They don't know the difference between the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't care if you like or hate somebody. If you keep talking about them, they're going to keep recommending that content to you. So that's how it works. You're stuck in a loop. 15 love. As Kalinskaya serves again. All right, Kalinskaya serves again. A fault, second serve. Second serve. Ooh, double fault. All right, 15-0. Visibility of the ball on court is not good. Yeah, I know, right? It's tough. All right, return goes into the backhand of Kalinskaya, but she hits it in the net, and it's 15-30. Chance for Gauff. To break. As the return goes in from Gauff to the backhand of Kalinskaya. Gauff backhand down the line. That's the winner. 15-40. Gauff to go to 4-2 with the break. All right, 15-40. The Medi Shung match yesterday had some entertaining highlights. It's the best I've seen Medi play in a few years. Oh, nice. Let's hope Medvedev can play against somebody named Sinner or Alcaraz as Gauff breaks. 4-2 Coco. With all the walkovers, do you think the matches are going to get moved up in the schedule? Well, they moved Jovic onto center court. I mean, they will move matches up a little bit, yeah. They'll promote matches onto center courts if center court matches get changed. What player do you want to see move up? Are you talking about Eala? Because it's on at midnight. Raducanu probably has to have a walkover for them to move Eala's match up, to be honest. All right, double fault from Coco, love 15. Love 15. As Gauff serves again. A fault, second serve. Second serve. As we double fault again from Gauff. Love 30. Back-to-back double faults. Love 30. As with another fault, second serve. As Kalinskaya hits a return long, 15-30. So true, Synchraz would be the real test, yeah. $15.30. As we just serve now the forehand of Kalinskaya. Forehand now from Gauff into the back of Kalinskaya. She hits a winner. It's 15-40 to get back on serve. All right. 15-40. As we're flying out of the back of Kalinskaya. Back in now from Gauff. Nope. That goes out by Kalinskaya. All right. 30-40. 30-40. (30-40). There's a bit of fault second serve. (30-40). As a return from Kalinskaya goes into the front of Gauff. Kalinskaya backhand cross court off the tape. Gauff gets it back with the backhand. Kalinskaya slice into the front of Gauff. Gauff, it's a winner. Good hustle. Deuce. All right, we get the deuce. Holiday in the Philippines. Nice. All right, we get the deuce. Serve again. Into the back into Kalinskaya. Slice from Gauff. To the back into Kalinskaya. Gauff with a pass. Kalinskaya with a volley. Gauff gets there with a slice. Backhand down the line. Winner. Another good shot by Coco. Advantage Gauff. Gauff to take a 5-2 lead. Eala's match in Philippines time. I can tell you this. It's happening about 5 hours from now. Whatever the time is, right now, it's in 5 hours. I think somebody said midnight. It'll be after about between midnight and 1 a.m. it starts. Is probably where it's going to start. Tsitsipas is serving the match. Wait, what? Where? Is he playing? Oh shit, he is playing. Totally missed it. Forgot the Doha was going on with. I thought it was just Sinner and Alcaraz playing that tournament. That's crazy. Anyways, advantage. Yeah, Steph's winning. And it's got double faults, and we get back to deuce. All right, deuce. Steph and Medvedev are going to play in round 2. Yes. Come on now. You know we watched that match. You know we have to watch that match. As the return goes in the front of Gauff, back in now from Kalinskaya, into the back of Gauff. As Kalinskaya wins the point. Gauff hits it long. All right, advantage. Advantage Kalinskaya. To take back the break. All right, there's Gauff with a good serve. Return goes out, and it's deuce. All right, back to deuce. As Gauff serves another fault second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Kalinskaya. Gauff backhand to the front of Kalinskaya. And Kalinskaya in the net. Advantage Gauff to take the 5-2 lead. All right, return goes to the front of Gauff. Kalinskaya backhand. Into the front of Gauff as Kalinskaya forehand again in the front of Gauff. And then Gauff hits it out and we're back to deuce. Back to deuce. As Gauff serves an ace. All right, advantage Gauff. 1 second chat. All right. Back to deuce. As we get a 4-4 rally, Kalinskaya goes into the backhand of Gauff. Kalinskaya volley, Gauff with a pass. But Kalinskaya volleys it away. And it's advantage Kalinskaya to get back on serve. All right. Long marathon game. Whoa. The hell? All right. Advantage Kalinskaya to get back on serve. That's crazy. Gauff serves a fault. Second serve. Somebody clip that. That was crazy. All right, second serve. There's a return. Goes in the backhand of Gauff. Kalinskaya backhand goes wide. All right, back to deuce. Back to deuce. No. As Gauff serves. A fault, second serve. Oh, it's a double fault, my bad. All right, advantage Kalinskaya to take back the break. As Gauff serves. Into the forehand, Kalinskaya. Forehand from Gauff is wide. We're back on serve. 4-3. Coco breaks back. Sorry, Kalinskaya breaks back against Coco. All right. Okay, watching here in Denmark, where we have bad weather and freezing temperatures many days, waiting for the Eala's match. Okay, nice. Well, not nice, but also nice that you're waiting. We'll watch Eala very soon. She will be playing soon. By the way, Kalinskaya's got a trainer out for a medical timeout. Or at least that's the plan. If we have another walkover, I'm going to cry. The Eala match is still 5 hours away. Yeah, it's a long time away. Why is the trainer out for Anna? Because she needs medical assistance. I don't know what exactly for, but I think she might just be taking some painkillers. Rebecca needs to make the final to be number 2 in the world. Yeah. All right, so Kalinskaya is getting a medical timeout. And it looks like it might be a leg injury. Maybe a leg issue. Hasn't been a long. I mean, it's only been what 30 minutes. Gauff's just practicing serves in the meantime. Yeah. By the way, schedule should be coming out pretty soon for tomorrow. Seeing as we've had so many walkovers and upsets happen, or so many retirements happen already. Schedule's probably coming out pretty soon. I thought Eala's match will be in the morning, as you said yesterday. It'll be in the morning for me. I'm in Australia. My mornings are early. It's going to be like 3 a.m. for me. No schedule. Kalinskaya always injured as like Raducanu. Okay. So many walkovers and injuries and illnesses. Yep. It's a pretty brutal tour. It's a pretty full-on tour. So it looks like a hip injury for Kalinskaya, a hip issue. This is the hospital open, yeah. You're from Australia? I thought you were from the UK. Really? Do I sound British? Happens at different tournaments every year. This time it's in Dubai, yeah. I mean, we're just getting started in the season. Everyone's already getting sore. That's crazy. This is not a good start to the season, physically. He doesn't sound British, mate. Yep. You don't sound the most Australian? Well, if I sounded Australian, you wouldn't be able to understand me. Did I find that Mboko card? Yeah. Victoria Mboko. Ka-chow. 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 All right. Kalinskaya back on court. She just broke back, so let's see what happens. Four, 3. That's a nice card, I know, right? I got it like 12 months ago in a bulk lot of random cards, and this was before Mboko was even known, right? And now it's an event-used memorabilia card. So that's going in the collection. British and Aussie sound similar? Sometimes. All right, 15-0. As we got a fault, second serve. As Gauff hits in the net, 30. Love. That's 30-15. Is Gauff hits it out 40-15? As Kalinskaya serves a fault, second serve. As that goes in net by Kalinskaya, 40-30. All right, we get the deuce. All right, we get to deuce. As that goes out from Kalinskaya, and it's advantage Coco to take back the break and serve for the set. Oh, by the way, chat, did anyone else hear that Craig Tiley is leaving Australia? Anyways, Kalinskaya hits a winner, and we go back to deuce. So it's now, I guess, official, or it's announced that he is no longer. Is it official, or is it still unofficial? Craig Tiley to step down from his role at Tennis Australia and Australian Open Director, and be the new CEO of the United States Tennis Association. So not the tournament director of the US Open, but the USTA CEO, which is interesting. All right, deuce. There's a bit of backhand into the slice of Gauff, and Gauff hits it out. Is it definite now? Well, it's not definite, but it's very likely. If it's being reported, then it's more than likely. Or at least it's being reported. It's been spoken about for a while. It's been spoken about, but still not official. All right, 4-0. Four games all. As a backhand slice down the line from Gauff. Kalinskaya forehand goes in the net, and it's 15-0. Serve again from Gauff. The forehand to Kalinskaya. Forehand from Gauff down the line. Kalinskaya can't get it. And it's 30-15. As we get to 40-15. As that goes out by Kalinskaya and Gauff stays in front. All right. 5-4 to Coco. Kalinskaya's going to get the trainer out again. And they're just working on Kalinskaya. They're not allowed to do another medical timeout, but she's allowed to get. She's allowed to get. All right. But she's not going to throw in the towel just yet. All right. Kalinskaya going to serve to stay in the set now. All right, as that goes out by Gauff. And to the backhand rally. Into the forehand of Gauff. Four now from Kalinskaya as Gauff goes to the backhand of Kalinskaya, who slices it in the net. And it's 15-0. As with a fault, second serve. As that goes out by Kalinskaya, 15-30. Coco looking to break and win the set. $15-30. As Kalinskaya serves a let. As Kalinskaya serves a fault, second serve. And then a double fault. 15-40. Coco with the 2 set points. As with a 4 now slice from Gauff. Kalinskaya gets it. Gauff with a lob. Too good. Gauff wins the set. 6-4. Hey, Carmen, thank you for the $2 super sticker. I don't think Kalinskaya is going to finish this match. She looks at Coco, but she sits down anyway. I don't know if Kalinskaya is going to finish this match. It doesn't feel like it. She took a look at Coco and then kept walking. Is Craig Tiley my father-in-law? No. Why would he be my father-in-law? That's weird. All right, Kalinskaya's got the trainer out again. All right. Kalinskaya. I mean, I don't see how she plays after this. If she gets broken, she's probably going to throw it in, right? Let me just have a look at Kalinskaya's retirement record because she has... it feels like it does happen a lot, right? So she has retired 23 times in her career, and she's also withdrawn 5 times from tournaments. So that's 28 tournaments that she has 28 tournaments that she has finished injured. Some tournaments she's actually been injured and she's lost matches because of injury, but yeah, 28 times she has entered a tournament and gotten injured and had to pull out of the tournament midway through, which is a lot. Last year, at the end of last year in Hong Kong and Tokyo, she had to retire 2 matches, one against Oboka, one against Noskova. She was down a set and a break in both. Very interesting trend. Over the last... Actually, you know what I want to know? I want to know when she loses the first set, how many times does she actually finish the match? Because that is... So when she loses the first set, she's come back 42 times and lost 144. She did come back from a set down against Ostapenko. So, you know, but she was on an 8-match losing streak after losing the first set, and she would go on to lose the match. But yeah, there's a lot of retirements there. She retired 4 times last year. She retired in Adelaide, Singapore, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. All matches she was down 1-love in the second when she threw the towel in. Then 2024, she retired twice. Again, down a set and a break. Then in 2023, it was 3 times. 2022, it was 5 times she retired. Some of them she was down a break in the first set, but most of them she was down a set and a break. So very rarely does she she's never retired in a winning position, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's always... I mean, I'm looking at every single retirement. Every single time she's down a break in the second or in the third. So sometimes she's won the first set and she's been... It was actually interesting because in 2021, between 2018 and 2021, she didn't retire any matches. She played every single match that she competed in. I don't know what happened, but like did she play like 2018 to 2021? She didn't retire any matches and she didn't walk over any matches. So she played everything she competed in. 2021, she had retired 3 times during a match. 2 times she was up a set and then she lost the second and then withdrew in the third or retired at the third. But ever since 2021, every match that she's retired, she was down a set and a break. Or in the first set, she was down a break and then she retired in the first set. But this is a thing. It's actually a thing. Like, she does retire a lot, which sucks because she's a really good player. She's 27. So she's not, she's not a veteran or anything, but she just retires a lot. Oh, interesting. Okay, so on Twitter, Kalinskaya said that she was made to train with weights as a teenager and it caused her to have back problems. That is interesting. That actually helps a lot with the context, because now, with that in mind, that makes it seem like, okay, well, that sucks, right? That then all these retirements, if they're stemming from that, that's unfortunate. As Gauff holds 1-love in the second, Kalinskaya is going to play on. Yeah, that's interesting and unfortunate. I mean, she was 20 when these retirements started happening. She was 22 when she started retiring matches a lot. And look, and that sucks. And that does suck. Having back issues, and then that, can translate to all things. But also 23 times, and we'll go from 23 times, but in the last 5 years, 19 times she's had to retire through a match. I mean, that's a lot. And it sucks that she had those things happen, but I feel like you got to figure it out. Like you got to figure, like, that's a lot of times. That's a lot of retirements. And I'm not saying it's like, she gives up, she quits, blah 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 blah. Right? Maybe she's in a lot of pain. We don't know. But it's also like, oh man, how do you stop that happening? Because, like, there's been players that have played, like Kvitova came back after a horrific injury. Monica Seles came back, right, from what she went through. And maybe maybe she wasn't the same as she was before, but they have come back and been able to compete. I'm pretty sure, didn't Wozniacki have didn't she have something going on? Like arthritis? Or was that somebody else? Didn't somebody have some arthritis thing? And they played on for a while? They played on for a long time? Managing it? Who was that? Was it Wozniacki? Yeah. Maybe get Wozniacki in the team and just kind of go, how do you do it? Like, how did you, because I mean, not the same thing, right? But also somebody who's gone through some difficult physical times, but somehow managed to still compete, play at the highest level. Let me have a look. When was Wozniacki? How many times did Wozniacki retire in her career? I mean, Rafa played with a foot problem his whole life, right? And I know Rafa's not a fair comparison, but also, the players have had. Wozniacki retired 21 times in her whole career, as Kalinskaya holds 1-all. 21 times in her entire career, and 2 of those were in 2024, and that's when she sort of came back. But she didn't retire a match between 2019 and 2024. Now, mind you, she was away from the tour for a couple of years. But yeah, Wozniacki 21 times throughout her entire career, which spans over nearly 20 years. And she wasn't, she did retire from matches, but it was very, very, in comparison to Kalinskaya, it's very rare. 1-0. So yeah, maybe something to consider. But she hasn't retired yet, Kalinskaya, but it is a trend. It is a trend, and I mean, it has stopped her winning. She's retired in quarterfinals, which is that's not good. Semifinals of Singapore last year, quarterfinals in Tokyo and Hong Kong, quarterfinals a couple of years ago in Charleston, Guadalajara quarterfinals. Semi-finals of a tournament way back when, but those smaller tournaments maybe not so much. But yeah, some quarterfinals she's had to retire. 4th round of Toronto last year. 4th round of Wimbledon 2 years ago. Sorry, 2 years ago for Toronto as well. So there's been some, and I mean, she's it's actually a trend as well. She's retired against a lot of seeded players. So like last year it was on Boko, 3rd seed, Noskova, 6th seed. She retired against Anisimova in Toronto a couple of years ago. Raducanu, Andreeva, Raducanu, Jabeur, Sabalenka, Kazatkina, Zachary. So she has retired against some big top players as well, which also makes it interesting that she's had to retire in against some of the big names. But yeah, I don't know. It's let's see how she goes though, because she's up 15:30 here. $15.30. Yeah, true. I mean, look, if she has got a back issues, that's yeah. There's not much. There's not much, right? There's not much you can do with that. Like Badosa, she's dealing with that stuff all the time, and she's been forced to retire. Maybe it's just a day by day thing. Sometimes, sometimes you're totally fine and you can play weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden, it just takes one match to have an issue, right? As Gauff 30-40. How many times does Serena retire? A great question. All right, as Gauff gets to deuce. Serena only retired 16 times in her entire career. And one of those, the last time she retired was in Wimbledon 2021, where she actually rolled her ankle. She retired in the Toronto final against Andreescu back in 2019. Indian Wells against Muguruza. So she retired 3 times from 2009 to the end of her career. She only retired 4 times. Wuhan, Indian Wells, Toronto, Wimbledon. 4 times. And only retired from a Grand Slam once, twice. And that was both at Wimbledon, but one was at the start of her career and one was towards the end. So only 16 times for a career that spans, 30 years, 25, 30 years, right? But that's GOAT things, right? I mean, we could say, oh, well, no, Federer never retired. But that's also GOAT things. It's not a fair comparison, right? So we can't be like, oh, well, Kalinskaya, Serena never retired. And you're like, well, that's not fair. Or Serena hardly retired. It's like, well, that's also like the greatest of all time. That's a bit harsh. Anyways, Gauff goes back to deuce. But still, very impressive that Serena played for so long and still only, a retirement every couple of years. One retirement every couple of years on average. All right, deuce. There's a bit of fault from Gauff, second serve. But again, Kalinskaya is still playing this match, so let's not count her out yet. She is capable. She came back from a set down in the first round as that goes wide from Kalinskaya. The way that Kalinskaya is playing, though, the way that she's just sort of like smacking returns and hoping it goes in, that's a concern. That's a bit of a worry. She's not really trying to rally and play her way into the point. She's just trying to hit return winners. So that's a concern. There's a bit of fault from Coco, second serve. Steps up 4-2 in the second. Nice. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Kalinskaya. Backhand from Gauff. Kalinskaya backhand again into the backhand of Gauff. Gauff in the net. Back to deuce. God, Coco just needs a break and she'll win this match. That's all. I mean, it's simple, but not really. Like, if Coco can just get a break, she can... I forgot to put the injury sign up. My bad. Thank you for reminding me. There we go. All right, deuce. As Gauff serves a fault, second serve. As Gauff double faults, advantage Kalinskaya. Advantage Kalinskaya to get the break in the second. As we're falling out of the backhand of Kalinskaya. Backhand now from Gauff. Kalinskaya backhand to the front of Gauff. That's a good shot. Kalinskaya gets it on the stretch. Gauff. Forehand in the net. There's the break for Kalinskaya. All right. Kalinskaya is going to play on. 2-1 with a break now. All right. All right. Kalinskaya has the break in the second. All right, 2-1. Here we go. Kalinskaya serves. She's got the break in the second. Serve the backhand of Gauff. Gauff hits it out on the return. 15 love. Does that look better, chat? I feel like that work makes sense, right? All right, 40 love Kalinskaya. 40 love. As Kalinskaya serves again. And then she hits a forehand in the net. Kalinskaya, 40-15. As Kalinskaya holds. All right, 3-1. Kalinskaya with the break in the second. All right, 3-1. Back to Gauff. As Kalinskaya return goes goes wide, sorry. Kalinskaya's not moving too much on returns. She's just like, I'm just going to stand here and hit the ball as hard as I can if I can. All right, serve. Here's a fault, second serve. Serving to the forehand of Kalinskaya. Forehand from Gauff into the forehand of Kalinskaya. Gauff. Forehand to the backhand of Kalinskaya, but Kalinskaya goes wide. 30 love. All right, forehand goes cross court in the forehand of Kalinskaya. Kalinskaya in the net, 40 love. $40 love. As Gauff serves a fault. Second serve. As Gauff double faults, 40-15. There's a fault, second serve. Second serve. To the front of Kalinskaya. Front from Gauff to the backhand of Kalinskaya. Gauff backhand into the front of Kalinskaya, but she hits it wide, and it's 3-2 Coco. Sorry, 3-2 Kalinskaya in the second. Gauff holds, though. Tsitsipas up 5-4, serving for the match. Nice. Medvedev, Tsitsipas. When was the last time they played? It feels like it's been a minute. We need that in our lives. Synchro's getting boring. We need Tsitsipas Medvedev. They haven't played in 18 months. They played Shanghai 2024. They've only played once in the last 2.5 years. Yuck. See, that's why the ATP need more Tsitsipas Medvedev. We need more Tsitsipas Medvedev. It's just Alcaraz and Sinner are too friendly. We need a proper rivalry, and that's Steph versus Medi. Just watched the backhand episode of Andy Roddick. He talked extensively about Leighton Hewitt. He talked about him at length. I haven't heard. What do you mean? What do you mean backhand? I don't understand. I haven't seen it. What, he did an episode on backhands? That's cool. All right, Kalinskaya with a break. Three-two is going to backhand rally. Oh, okay, so we talked with Chris Eubanks about the greatest backhands of all time. Okay. And then he talked about the greatest forehands of all time. Cool. Oh, it just came out too. All right, 15-all Coco. Anyways, that goes out by Gauff, and it's 30-15. Serve to the forehand of Gauff. Forehand from Kalinskaya. Gauff backhand. Into the backhand of Kalinskaya. But Kalinskaya's out. 30-all. You just wonder whether or not Kalinskaya will finish this match if she gets broken back. As that goes in the net by Kalinskaya. All right, 30-40. Gauff to get back on serve. As that goes in the net by Kalinskaya, we're back on serve. 3-3. 3-all. Kalinskaya will play on. I don't think Kalinskaya is going to throw the towel in at this point. Unless we go to a third set, maybe. But if I have a look at Kalinskaya's retirements, it's usually she's down like 2 or 3 love in the second when she's down a set. So I don't think she's going to retire at 5-3 down or 4-3 down or whatever. Yeah, she doesn't. She's not known for retiring down, like, unless it's the first set and she's down like 4-3 or 5-2. Most of the time that she's retired, it's still like 3 love in the second or 4 love in the third or 3-1. So I don't think she's going to retire in this set. If she does win this set, she'll obviously play the third, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't think if Coco's going to win this match, I think Coco's either going to win in straights or we're going 3 and. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, I don't think Kalinskaya is going to retire at 5-3 or anything like that. She's not known to do that. 15 love. Tsitsipas wins. Yes! 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 The best rivalry in men's tennis. Yes! Finally. Finally. Too long. It's too long between matches. Finally, we get the match that we all want. You can keep your sinker as, I want Stefadev or Tsitsidev or Danilsipas. I don't know. We're going to figure out the names. Medi versus Steph. Come on, let's go. Hopefully they're not being friendly. Hopefully they're not pretending to be friends. Let's just, come on now. The greatest men's rivalry right now. 40 love. We are watching that match. You know we're watching that match. We're going to watch that match. Hell yeah. 40 love. Stefanel. Stefanel. Yes. 40 love. Yes, I need that in my life. Backhand return goes out by Kalinskaya. It's 4-3 Gauff. She takes the lead. Tsitsidev. Yep, we're getting that. That'll be. I think that's on tomorrow, right? I think it's tomorrow. Because I think third round's. Oh no, hang on. Oh no, second round's tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be tomorrow. Everyone will. So we've got Sinner Poprin, Medvedev Tsitsipas, maybe Alcaraz Roya as well. That might also happen tomorrow. And then on the women's side, we've got Chen and Isamova. At the moment is like the big one. Oh, Jovic and Pegula is also a big one. So we'll see how we can juggle the schedule. Cam, you hit 285? Hey, we did! Yay! What's going on? How's everyone doing? 285, hell yeah. Thank you everybody for joining. 285k. I don't know what we started the year at. Can't remember. Were we one? I think we were I can't remember. I think we started the year at maybe 275? Maybe? Yeah, 275, I think. All right. Kalinskaya to serve. Coco gets the lead back, 4-3. I'll tell you what, I've never been to Abu Dhabi or Dubai or Doha or Saudi Arabia, but I'll tell you, the Dubai Open, it seems like it's it looks like a nice venue to walk around in, and a lot of trees and stuff around the main stadium. As a return goes down the line to the backhand of Kalinskaya, backhand from Gauff into the forehand of Kalinskaya. As Gauff goes again, the back of Kalinskaya to the back of Gauff. Kalinskaya in the net. And it's love 15. How about Medi pass? I like Sidzadev. That's better. I feel like we can't even combine their names because it's an insult to both of them. Like Sinkeraz, it's a friendly matchup. When there's Tsitsipas and Medvedev over its time have not been friendly. So I don't think combining the name, combining the name feels like they're friends, right? And it's like Sinkeraz, oh yeah, Sinner versus Alcaraz. Vidal, right? They're friends. But like Djokovic and Federer never had a nickname, right? Because it was always Federer versus Djokovic, right? It was never like, oh, this match. No, it was this guy versus this guy. I don't think we don't need to create a name for Tsitsipas versus Medvedev because it's Steph versus Medi, and they're when they play each other, they're not combined. We don't put them together because they're not friendly. Well, they weren't friends. Whereas Sinkeraz, they're like, oh, they're one in the same. They're friends. Yay. Anyways, Kalinskaya on the net. Gauff's got the breaks, going to serve the match. Whereas it's always like Tsitsipas, Medvedev. Right? No friends. All right, 5-3. Like oil and water. Yeah, they haven't played against each other for so long as well. So it's going to be a treat. God, I hope I don't want them to fight, but I hope it's prickly. Like I hope it's a little spicy. I don't, we don't need it to be like like a shit show or a circus, and we don't need them to be like yelling and screaming at each other. And I think they're too old for that now. I think Medvedev's moved beyond, beyond most of that. But we definitely need some tension. I definitely want to watch that match and feel like there's something bubbling. It's like, ooh, this is a bit awkward. What's going on? I want some proper like tension between them and like, ooh, this could be a frosty handshake, right? 15 love. It's only when Medvedev starts losing to Tsitsipas that things start to go wrong. When he's winning, he doesn't seem to engage. But when he's losing against Steph, that's when things get a little bit interesting. That's when Medi gets a little bit annoyed. Backhand rally. Down the line from Kalinskaya. As Gauff can't get that one. Kalinskaya puts away 15-0. But Medvedev has won the last 3 times they've played. Steph hasn't beaten him since 2022. Interesting. They've only played 3 times since 2022 as well. It's crazy. But like the 4 times that Tsitsipas has beaten Medvedev, I mean, the Australian Open encounters, there was some tension, but it was a set all when Medvedev started going crazy. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. I love that matchup. I just love it. I think it just feels almost nostalgic. Like it's one of the great rivalries on the ATP right now. But we don't get it enough. Kind of like Medvedev Zverev. That's a great rivalry too. But we always talk about the Sincaraz or the Djokovic versus Sincaraz, whatever. But there's all these little rivalries as well that are really fun, and that's obviously an iconic rivalry in this generation. 15:30. As Kalinskaya backhand return goes short. Gauff. Oh, she hits it in the net. Didn't need to do that, Coco. She didn't need to hit it that hard. 15:40. Break back points for Kalinskaya. 15:40. Serve again. Means a fault from Gauff. Second serve. Serve to the forehand of Kalinskaya. Good return. Gauff gets it back. Kalinskaya forehand inside out. Gauff with the pass. Kalinskaya with a great volley. Gauff gets it though with a pass again. That's too good. All right, one saved. Just 30-40. Coco just saves it. 30-40. Are we going to watch that match tomorrow? Yes. Was that a serious question, or were you just making jokes? First there's a fault. Were you just kidding? Right, you were just joking, right? Second serve. Second serve, Gauff. Double fault. All right, Kalinskaya breaks back. We're back on serve. Brooksby Lehechka's starting as well. It has started as well. If Steph wins, Medi is going to freak out. Maybe. Did you see Jim Curry and Mark Petchey do a podcast on ATP? First episode about rivalries was good. Yeah, I did watch that. I love listening to Jim, and Mark Petchey's great too, but I feel like there's just too many. Like, there's too many podcasts. There's too many. And I thought it was a little bit too... I know, like, people love, like, stats and numbers, but I just feel like a lot of the time when I was listening, and I thought it was really interesting, but then after a while, I was like, when they kept cutting to the guy who had the stats, and they were like, 3.59 and 4.75, and I'm like, oh, shut up. Like, I was just getting, like, too many numbers. Like, what are all these, like, numbers and stats are fine to analyze stuff, but, like, when it's just, like, people reading out numbers, and it's like, whoa, wow. I just was like, oh, it was just too heavy, stats heavy. And they were using AI to, like, do shit, and I was like, yeah, I get it. It was because the podcast to like not advertise, but it was like a podcast to, like, incorporate one of the sponsors of the ATP that do the stats. So it's kind of like a weird, like, I don't know. I'd much rather them just talk about rivalries instead of using, like, statistics all the time. I thought it was way too stats heavy. Like, Jim was like, hey, what does the AI say? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to hear what the AI says. I want to hear what Jim has to say about people. I don't know. Like hearing, like, oh, well, Alcaraz's forehand, when he plays Sinner at 3.575. And I'm like, what? Who cares? Like, doesn't matter. I understand, but but numbers are lovely. Yeah, but I also think it's like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many stats in tennis, and that's great. But then it's also like, Chad, I wear this watch, right? I check my sleep every week, maybe, and my steps, but I don't check my heart rate every day of every hour, and I don't check, like, there's so many things on this that I don't use, right? And I feel like that was the same as watching one of those podcasts. It's like there was just so much information that I didn't really seem to care for. I was like, why? Does it matter? Like, oh, well, okay. I don't know. I liked it. I like Mike Petchy. I like Jim. So I'm gonna watch the next one. But I don't know. Just after a while, I was like, after like the third stat, I was like, wait, there's a lot of numbers. Overstimulating, yeah. But it's almost like analysis overload, you know. And it's like there's just too much, too many numbers, too many stats. Because at the end of the day, you go like, I'm like, what does it all mean? Like, what does that mean though? Like, I can spurt it. I can give you all the numbers in the world chat, but what does it mean? Like, what does it mean for now? Like, what does it mean? Like, there's got to be like a meaning behind all the numbers. Like, there's no point in just saying a bunch of stats, right? Like, what does that translate into, right? Story of matches are more important. Yeah, like I'd much rather like, you know, when Zverev gave Alcaraz a look after he started cramping. That's more interesting to me. Yeah, drama. Okay, 30 all. Medvedev versus Tsitsipas. I don't care about the stats. I care about that Miami match they played. Backhand goes in to the forehand of Kalinskaya. Kalinskaya in the net, 30-40. It appeals to the stats nerds, but if it's not for you... No, I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong. But after a while, I just kept on hearing, they just kept on talking about numbers, and I was like... Yeah, I don't know. I just felt a little bit too heavy, numbers heavy. Forehand goes down the line from Gauff, but it's wide, and Kalinskaya gets to do saves the match point. Like, I'm going to watch the next one, because I like Jim and I like Mike Petchy, but I just... Yeah, it just got like a little bit too like... And I feel... And it's just me, right? It's just like, I'm just like, okay. All right, more stats. What does it all mean? Numbers. All right, what does that... What does that translate into, though? That's like, you know, what does that mean? It was a little bit too, and I didn't really like the fact that I just kept on going, what do the AI say? And I'm like, who cares? I want to hear what the humans say. What are the human opinions? What are the feelings the humans have? I don't give a shit what the AI says about numbers. Backhand goes in the forward of Gauff. As Gauff, did that go in? No. Somebody in the crowd, I think, called it out. And Kalinskaya thought the ball was long. There's somebody in the crowd was cheering because the ball went in from Gauff. That sucks for Kalinskaya. Advantage Gauff. That was a clear hindrance from the crowd. That sucked for Kalinskaya. All right, advantage Gauff. As the return goes into the forehand of Kalinskaya. Gauff for the forehand of the stretch. Kalinskaya. Forehand goes long. Gauff wins, but that was tough. That was a tough one. And Kalinskaya, she fought through injury, so, you know, credit to her. We thought for a while there she was going to retire, but Gauff's through to the third round in a very tricky second round matchup. Who she lost? This is the same lady she lost to a couple of years ago at this tournament. So Gauff wins. First match she's won in the Middle East since 2024. All right. 6-4, 6-4. Gauff gets it done. All right. Is the audience allowed to hinder with no... no, they don't... I mean, I don't know. It's an umpire's call. Pardon me. If the crowd start cheering, it's not a hindrance. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is. It's a grey area. What did Federer say? He only won 52% of points in his career, but they were the big points. Yeah. Cam loves a drama. No, I love the stories of a match, you know. And I love I can get nerdy like the rest of everybody, right? I love a good stat, right? Stats are really fun. Don't get me wrong. But when it's like it's only stats, because there's definitely intangible things, right? Like tennis matches aren't based on pure. It's not just a numerical game. Well, it is, but it's not. Like there's moments that you can't. There's things that happen that are not statistical, right? There are things that happen that no amount of numbers can predict, or no amount of numbers can give me an answer to, right? It's just feeling, it's emotion, it's, you know, there's things in tennis that are just not numbers. And those are the things that make it great. If it was all numbers and based, then it'd be predictable, right? You could predict things, and you can still kind of do that, I guess. But I don't know. There's just things that happen that you can't predict. If it's a windy day, that changes things, right? Yeah, if the crowd's on your opponent's side, that could change the game, right? I mean, there's just so many little intangible things that you can't what's the stat for playing in front of opposition crowds? Nobody knows because it's not being recorded because nobody writes that stuff down, or somebody gets injured, right? Or something happens, like those things. Those are the things that make tennis interesting. Stats are great, but it's those things that happen throughout a match that just the unexpected things or sometimes stats tell you one thing and the opposite happens, right? But again, I love a good stat. Like knowing that Kalinskaya has retired 23 matches in her career is a great stat. It's interesting. It's like, whoa, shit, that's a lot. And then we got to figure out what that means, right? And why does she retire? Well, she's had a back problem for a while. She injured her back as a teenager, and that's kind of maybe bothered her whole career. And that's so we got to the answer of what the stat meant. Why was that stat a thing? That's more interesting to me. But that's just me. Everyone's different. Bailik's not playing. She withdrew. By the way, Kalinskaya had more break points, but she only converted 4. Gauff converted 6. They're not showing the by the way, one of the uglier matches we've seen. 18 winners, 33 errors from Gauff. 11 winners, 44 errors from Kalinskaya. Was that 78 errors combined? That's not good. And I think Gauff, they're not showing the double fault count, but it was a lot of double faults. Now, Coco versus Mertens now. That's going to be interesting in the next round. That'll be tomorrow. By the way, Zakharova and Rujic are into a third set. Also, Brooksby and Lehechka are 2-all. And that is that. All right. Now we've got a couple hours to the next match, so we're going to just chill, I guess. Yeah, 12 double faults for Coco. If you're talking stats, that's the stat that stands out, right? We all know what that means. 12 double faults. That's the big red flag stat. I don't even need to talk about it, Yeah, there was another retirement. Yep. This is what I find interesting about Coco. She somehow finds a way to win. Well, that's it. That is it. That is it. That's the difference, though. That's why she's got 2 Grand Slams, right? Even though she's not playing great or she's not doing her best, the best players find a way to win. And, people will come in here and they'll clown on her and be like 12 double faults. She can't serve, blah, blah, blah. She still has 2 Grand Slams. She's still number 4 in the world, right? She still wins 1,000. She still wins matches despite serving double-digit double faults. Like people can talk shit about her serve all they want, but she's still one of the best players in the world with that serve. So, she's not doing badly. She's not doing too badly considering her serve is not good, right? So, yeah. And the thing is, what I've always said is, what happens if her serve starts to get good? What if she limits that she cuts that in half, 12 to 6 double faults? How much better is she going to be? Like Coco, she cuts those double faults in half. That's a scary player. It's probably the only thing that might be holding her back from, taking over, right? Obviously, there's other things that, forehands and stuff that sometimes break down, but the serve is obviously the glaring issue at times. But, I mean, Coco's only going to get better. She's only, 22, right? She gets that serve working consistently. That's going to be a scary player. You don't want to play that player. Lol, we had the same thought. Imagine what happens when she gets it. Yeah, exactly. People will be like, 12 double faults, that's terrible. But what happens if she hits 2 double faults and doesn't serve double-digit double faults for a year? What happens then? She's 21, and she's turning 22 soon, right? How many double faults do you think Coco will serve in a 5 setup? I don't know. But I'd love to see her play a 5 setup. I think she would be one of the players that would thrive in that environment, because we know that she's not going to cramp. Like, Coco could play 5 hours. So physically, she could definitely go the distance. She's 22 in a month. There you go. Gauff is top 5 in wins. Monster on tour. If she gets her serve together. I know, right? That is a scary player. If her serve... I mean, she doesn't even need to eliminate double faults. She just needs to halve them. She cuts those double faults in half, and she gets the probably world number 1. Like, I mean, but the thing is, like, she doesn't lose matches based on double faults anyway. So she could probably still be number 1, even if she has issues on the serve. So wait, hang on. So when's... Oh, okay. So we've got 2.5 hours until Raducanu plays. All right. I was wondering what the hell's going on. So yeah, Raducanu plays in 2.5 hours. It's why we love tennis. It's because it's all numbers. Is it though? Is it all numbers? She's 22 on the 13th of March. Same birthday as me. Hey, nice. Coco with a Raducanu or Mboko serve. The two ain't ready. Well, she's got that serve at her, like, she's got an Mboko-like serve when, like, that first serve goes in, and it's like she's got a big serve. I mean, she's one of the people don't, I think, realize, or people don't probably don't know that, like, she has one of the hardest serves in the world. Like, if she hits that first serve in, like, she's I think like 190, right? 190 kilometers, right? She can hit that massive serve, but unfortunately, she doesn't do that enough, and she hits more double faults than hits 190 serves. But her first serve is huge. And if it's working, and if it's going in, how do you get that back? Like, it's definitely on the Mboko Raducanu level of power if it's in. Yeah. But the thing with Coco, she's got time. Yeah, what happens if Coco gets to 25? When she's 25, I mean, she's only 21, turning 22. And she's still got room for improvement, and she's already done so much already. She's won 2 slams. She's been, multiple 1,000 champions. She's got wins over all the top players in the current era, except for Raducanu, because they'll never play. But yeah, I mean, Coco. What happens when Coco's 24, 25? Like, what? Like, is she like dominating the tour at that point? Like, if that serve works, maybe that's it. I mean, Sabalenka didn't get good until about 24, 25 as well, and she had serving issues for a while. And then she sorted that out, and look what happened. She took over the world. Now Sabalenka is the most consistent and dominant player in the world. Is that going to be Coco in 2-3 years? Like, fixing serve will take time? Oh, yeah, for sure. It was never going to be instant. Like, you just don't hire a coach and then go, oh, now I'm great. It doesn't work like that. But you're right. Coco leads the Raducanu head-to-head. That is true. 1-0. And they'll never play again, because that's not... the tennis gods don't want it. They'll play a Grand Slam final one more time, and then that'll be it. When they're both in their 30s. All right. I'll send you over the next one. We've got a couple of hours till Raducanu takes on Birrell. I know we don't watch Aussies, but we're watching the world number 3 because she's trying to be number 2. So jump on over there. Talk amongst yourselves, and we'll be back in a couple of hours. And then we've got a big blockbuster doubleheader to finish with Alcaraz playing Rinderknecht and Palini versus Eala. So a big finish to the day. And then tomorrow, we'll do it all again. We've got Medvedev versus Tsitsipas, which I'm so excited for. I can't wait for that match. I'm so pumped. I hope it's tomorrow. It might not be tomorrow. It might be on Wednesday? Thursday. But I hope it's tomorrow. I can't wait to watch that one. Anyways, Gauff wins 4-4. Not the prettiest match, but she clutches it out anyway. And she is into the third round. She'll play Mertens. I'll see you guys soon.